What's up, everybody, and welcome to Weekday Wagers, where if you're not watching the show live, you're already behind, and everybody is filling in the chat already and getting the conversations going right away. But we had a very good week so far, and this is going to be one of the best, as always, on a Thursday, as we're breaking down the Thursday night football game between the injured 49ers, and they're going into Los Angeles to take on the Rams tonight. Should be a good game. It's a lot of line movement that we're seeing within this line that opened up at 3.5. Now it's kind of settling at the 8 to 8.5, maybe a 9 that you're seeing out there. The game is moving around, but we have somebody in here that's going to be able to tell you why. We have Raphael coming in with some numbers. But before we get to Raphael, we're going to go ahead and look back at how Robbie and Mark did yesterday. And Robbie coming through a little 2+ hits, runs, and RBIs at -125. But that the NRFI king himself, Mark, comes up with a little pie on his face there with the NRFI striking out at -135. It is what it is. We lost a little juice on that one, but in the end of the day, we move on. So let's go ahead and bring in the guy who is with me always on Thursdays, my TV timeout friend. We might be able to get into some quick Survivor talk to end the show. But Robbie, what's up, man?
What's up, DG? Yeah, happy I hit the bet, not happy with the result of the game last night. I was sitting there watching. I was like, man, please pull him. You need to pull him. It's getting bad. And they let him stay on the mound way too long.
Yeah. Quick prediction. Do the Red Sox take it tonight?
I don't think so. I think the momentum's in New York's hands. Now, look, Connolly Early is a hell of a young pitcher.
Okay.
But he's facing Aaron Judge tonight. And I've seen what Aaron Judge did to one of our rookie pitchers earlier this year. He hit a home run. So, yeah, it's not looking great. I still have my Red Sox hat on, though.
All right, we'll see tonight. All right, let's get into the game on Thursday Night Football, and we got to bring in our guy, Raphael Esparza. What up, Raph?
What's up, gentlemen? If you're looking to bet the Yankees game, don't forget it's the last game, and a couple books told me Red Sox money is going to be probably coming in all day. So if you're a Yankee bettor, you can maybe see a -145 or less on that game, which you can get the Yankees at -145 or less. Something you might want to sprinkle on that one.
Well, the way their bullpen is, like, at any moment, you might be able to catch a better line because they could just give up a home run or just a double, a quick little run here and there. But we'll see. I don't know if this game is going to go over on the total, but I'm excited about it. It's going to be very much dueling with the Thursday night football game that could be very sleepy. And so that's what we want to get into. Raphael, let's open this thing up with you. So the line is moving. Let me ask you the first question, because I talked about it early on. You could find a 7.5, 8, 8.5, 9. Like you could find a little variance in this number. But the main thing I want to ask is, why has it moved from when it opened at 3.5 all the way up to as high as it's at now?
Let's face it, the 49ers called me and see if I can run routes today, because they're not missing not one, not two, not three, but 3 wide receivers that are out today. So that's one of those ones where the books are like, okay, we just don't want to get buried on this game. So it opened up anywhere between 3, 3.5, and 4. And then every day, I think when the books were refreshing their social media account, another wide receiver was down. Now the quarterback's not playing, which everyone thinks, oh, did the line move because no Brock Purdy? If you watch the 49ers play last, they're probably happy Brock Purdy's not playing in it, because he wasn't Brock Purdy last week. If you saw, he was very, very non-mobile, very hesitant, and all that. You could tell he wasn't 100%. So I think 100% Mac Jones would have probably done better last week than a hobbled Brock Purdy. So I think just the wide receiver and the lacking of offense on the field is the reason why we saw so much line movement.
Yeah, Rob, does a number like this scare you? Because anytime I see all this movement and it's going back and forth and it never settles, like, it just doesn't make me feel good. Is that how you land on a number like this?
Yeah, and it's a division game too, right? So they're very familiar with one another. And like Raphael said, I'm kind of upset we didn't get the Mac Jones revenge game last week against Jacksonville.
Yes.
Maybe if we had put him in there, they would have won that game.
Yeah. We'll see. All right, let's get into this number that is actually where it's at now. Do you see any more, Raphael, that any line movement where it could possibly go up all the way to like 9, maybe 9.5?
I think just the teaser action between maybe today's game and then maybe the whole not a big slate of college football games. I mean, I think the reason why we saw a couple of nines pop up late last night, I mentioned to you early, is because everyone bet the Dodgers money line and parlayed it to what game today on Thursday Night Football? The money line of the Rams, thinking, okay, this is two good minuses, $5 or less. We'll juice it up and put a nice parlay in. So once that Dodger game ended, all that liability now moves to this game. And so the books, after that game, probably refreshed it and said, holy cow, we're this much minus on the Rams game, not because of what the injuries, probably because a lot of parlay action that came in of the Dodgers. Because let's face it, the Dodgers were the last game. There was nothing else to bet on last week. So why would you bet the Dodgers? They were almost $3 favorite last night. So if you bet, okay, minus 280, minus 290, well, okay, I don't want to bet minus 290. What can I parlay? Well, there's nothing on the board. Wait a minute, there's a Thursday night football game. So then they just go on there and bet the favorite, which are playing a hobbled 49ers team. So I wouldn't shock me if we see more nines. There's 1-8. I don't know what the Hard Rock is doing. A couple 8.5s and again 2 9s. It wouldn't shock me if we see nines because I just think the betting public is going to, once they put the screen on TV and they're going to talk about who's missing on the 49ers, I think the public is going to jump on the Rams. So it wouldn't shock me if we see a couple more nines pop up.
All right. So explain that to me like I'm a complete idiot, like you view me as normal, which most people do. But like I'm a complete dummy and I don't know, like, why would the books move this number so high? Because I think it's because they want money on the other way because because of the money line. But either way, they could still lose. But realistically, that's why they're moving this number so high?
Yeah, they're begging probably for 49er money right now. So if you're looking at it, like if you're looking for a betting point of view, or like I said, this number should be 7.5 with maybe the wide receiver injuries, but just the amount of money that's come in on it because of what's going on in LA and with the 49ers hobbled. It's just they're looking for 49, any kind of 49er money. A perfect example, this game was what we call in a sportsbook a circled game, which is if the max bet is $50,000, it's probably max bet is maybe 25, maybe 20 because of all the injuries and maybe the lopsided it is on the book side. So if someone came up and said, hey, give me 22,000 to win 20,000, they're probably like, hey, you know what? It's a circle game, injuries, maybe we can't take that. If this was a normal Thursday night game like Jaguars Chiefs, that bet would be ticket punched or approved. Here you go. But this it's a circle game because of all the injuries that the 49ers have and probably the biggest liability. Back in the old day, we had parlay cards. We had to go to Sportsbook and you fill out the parlay cards. I can guarantee you this game is off the parlay cards because of the lopsided action on this game.
Yeah, if you don't know about the cards and going into the actual sports book, man, you got to go someday because that was the fun part of it. I know more things are digital, but I still think you can go into some sports books and get the little cards and fill them out, take them up to the register or to the window, I guess it's called.
Tonight's game could be a very interesting live bet game. What if this game was just a dull game, a 0-0? Or what if 49ers kick a field goal, 3-0, they got the ball first? Now you're looking probably maybe a 7 or a 6, and maybe the Rams haven't even touched the ball yet. So if you don't want to lay this number, then maybe see what live betting does. And if you get that number, I would say if you can get 7 points or less, I would say take it just because I just don't see the Rams losing this game. But I wouldn't take the 8.5 or 9. I would either live bet it or just pass.
Yeah, and that's where we all come to. Like, you don't have to bet every game. But the fact that there is, you can find value, and sometimes you just can't, which is perfectly fine. But I'm going to ask you, Robbie, this 49ers team, they are a little beaten up. It's a short week. Yeah, okay, a lot beaten up. And it is a short week. 49ers played well against the Rams over, the past years. And so I look at this. Is there a chance that you would sprinkle on the 49ers possibly winning?
No, definitely not. I'm sorry. They're 3-1. That is the most overrated 3-1 team I've seen this season. They won't be 3-1 for long. There are some good sneaky 49er props, guys like Demarcus Robinson who can catch the ball deep. I won't be on any Christian McCaffrey props. I can tell you that much. I don't know how much he gets used, but maybe look at Brian Robinson tonight. His rushing line was really low. It was at 19.5 rushing yards, something he's done in 6 straight games. So that might be where you look to find value is in the 49er player props, like some of the backup guys that are going to get some looks tonight.
Yeah, Raphael, I think you actually do like a little CMC action tonight.
Yeah, I mean, his number opened up, I think it was 108.5 for rushing and receiving yards. I think right now it's like 500 because everyone has bet it. It's moved. I was trying to pull up what the correct number is right now. There we go.
I see 115.5 at Hard Rock
Yeah.
and 118.5 at FanDuel.
Yeah, so I think he's going to have to be the key guy. I think the tight ends would be key for the 49ers. But if you're playing from behind pretty much most of the game, so that means the running game is probably going to be out. So I think screen games and short passes to him and the tight ends. And that's why I kind of like CMC. Now I wouldn't play it at that number now. I would wait to see if it comes down a little bit. I think I told someone I would pay it as high as 114.5 when I first. But yeah, it was crazy how low that number came up. But they made that number, then everyone started out. So,
hey, question on that, Raphael. And I want to ask this because not for me. Somebody asked me to ask this, definitely. But when the live betting is, right, at what point is a good time to get a good, like a player prop, for example? Because let's say this 115, 116, whatever this number is for a rushing receiving line is for CMC. If they get the ball first, or even if the Rams get the ball first, when do you think this number really starts to move down, I guess, in our favor enough for us to take some live action on it on a prop bet?
Well, first of all, I wouldn't recommend doing a player prop bet live after the second quarter.
Okay.
I mean, because the first quarter, you're maybe going to start to see how they're using, how their game plan is. Second quarter, because then halftime, we have second half adjustments. We don't know what the defense adjustments are going to be. So I would very highly recommend not doing the second half. But I would say look at the first quarter, and then you can see how they're going to use that person that you have. I think like I said, if you're going to play a tight end today in the 49ers, then I think, okay, you look at that after maybe in the second quarter, because they're not going to be throwing to the wide receiver. So the tight ends are going to be very active for the 49ers. For the Rams point of view, what if they're up, let's say 2 touchdowns in the second half? Then I would maybe look at the running backs, but I wouldn't take anything higher on the juice side of like maybe minus 120. Any kind of player prop, you don't go higher than minus 125 on the juice, even though sometimes the juice is worth the squeeze. But when you're looking at money management, it's not really worth it for a player prop because a player can go down at any point of view.
Yeah, Derek says CMC receiving yards is the way to go because you got to stay away from the rushing yards, which I believe somebody in the chat, RJ, put up 53.5 receiving yards is currently for CMC. Robbie, do you like that?
I like it more than his rushing props for everything we've been saying. They're going to be trailing. There's going to be a lot of screens, a lot of check downs. And to Raphael's point, injuries are a big thing. And some of these sports books now, if they go down early, they have the early exit. So that's another reason why, if you want to stay away from player props, I know you hate it, but if you want to stay away from player props in the second half, you at least have some of that insurance that you may get your money back on a guy in the first half if you live bet it.
Called gambling, purse. It's not called participation gambling. Oh, my player got hurt. I want my refund. Give me a break. If we did that when I was working at books, the mob would have came out from the back and probably taken you outside and taking something out of you.
I don't disagree with you. I'm one of those. Hey, if a guy gets hurt and I lose, that's called gambling. But if they're going to offer me that, I'm going to take it.
I know. I'm not blaming the consumer. I'm blaming the business of that. It just drives me crazy.
Yeah, no doubt. RJ is asking, is Devontae Williams going to get into the pay dirt? We'll have that a little bit later on with our primetime pay dirt section. But
do you have a lounge? Do you have a lounge section here too?
We have a saloon. I finally got into the saloon this week for the first time since we've started the show. So it has been very tough. But I did want to get to somebody. Irish John's got a question. Robbie, I'm going to go to you on this one. CMC receptions, 7.5. Is that too high?
I think so. You look at this season, he's gone 9-6, 10-6. I probably wouldn't go with 7.5. If you could get a 5.5 number or a 6, that's what I would take.
And you figure if they're down bad, he ain't playing a late third or fourth quarter because why risk him if they're down, let's say 3 touchdowns or double digits in the fourth? They ain't playing him.
Exactly. When does that, at a 7.5, Raphael, when does that number start to really fall enough where it gets to be a 5.5, right? Somewhere that we feel like he could actually get to that part. At what point is that first quarter we could actually see it fall from 7.5 to 5.5, or is this a number that would hold in the second quarter leading into halftime?
Now, if I was still running books, I would probably leave this prop bet for first quarter only, because you figure bettors are going to realize it's CMC and the 2 tight ends or nothing on this.
Right.
So they're going to be looking for that drop off from 7.5, 6.5, 5.5. So if I was still running, I'd be like, oh, first quarter's over. Really? No more, no more action, because the bettors know that the only way the 49ers can keep this game close if CMC is on the field, either rushing or receiving. Heck, he might have to throw the ball today as well. So if I was still running, I would probably delete that play in the first quarter. But I would say no more in the second, because you figure, again, adjust the defense in the second half. If he's having a good game, you figure the defense is going to get yelled at. Someone tackle the little white guy. So I would think maybe after halftime, I would take it down.
Kimberly White says CMC is wearing bubble wrap under that uniform for sure. Let's go ahead and go with a few more questions, because the chat, you guys are phenomenal. And so as long as you have questions, we'll try to keep hitting these before we move on to our picks. But Mark says that you can get the CMC receptions at DraftKings. It's at 6.5. The over is -122, so not a bad number. Michael wants to know, first half -5.5 for the Rams. Do you like that, Robbie?
Yeah, I kind of do. I think they're going to try to get up early and then just try to grind it out. And, the Thursday games, they're always trying to establish a lead and then just establish clock management. And if the Rams can get that done against a beat-up 49ers team, I don't hate that at all.
Yeah, do you like that, Raphael?
If I was going to look at this game, which I'm not, because, again, I missed a fantastic number of 3.5 and 4. So if I missed that number, I'm not chasing a bad number. I would maybe look at the first quarter number anywhere between 2 or 2.5. Okay. If it's -120 and a 2.5, I wouldn't go anywhere higher. If it's 125 or higher, I wouldn't take it.
Okay. All right. Last one. Derek's got it here. Do you like, Robbie, to you on Kendrick Bourne over 26.5 receiving yards?
I don't know where that is. What I'm seeing right now is 39.5. So it's been juiced up. So if you got that number, like maybe earlier in the week, I'd say absolutely, because you're getting about a 14-yard discount. But if you're playing the 39.5, I absolutely don't like that. Kendrick Bourne's not a guy that I'm going to put a lot of money on.
No, and I think with all these receivers, I think it'll fall drastically, because they might not have a catch to a quarter. And then all of a sudden you're like, all right, well, can we just get somebody to bite on 19.5 yards for this guy? So it could be really low numbers for a lot of these San Francisco receivers. All right, last thing, we'll get you out of here, Raphael. I want predictions. Who wins the game? I think everybody's on the same side as the Rams. But what's the score going to be? Raphael, let's start with you.
I don't see the 49ers hitting the 20 mark. So I'm probably, I would say maybe like 29-17 or something around there.
29-17. That's gross. That's probably not a score got me either. Robbie, what you got?
I had 27-13. Was my prediction.
That sounds so miserable.
Yeah.
Miserable. All right. Well, hopefully it plays out into a
I was going to do
game.
a prop bet today. Who would have more points or runs, 49ers or all 3 of the wild card games today? I was hoping to do, if it was 4, I would have posted up, but since the Dodgers won, I'm like, that's 3 games. I don't know if I can get that many points. If the Dodgers were playing today, I would have had who would have had more points, the 49ers or the 4 wild card games.
Wow. What game are you watching tonight? I know you have multiple TVs. I understand that part. Which one's going to have the sound on it, Raphael?
Ooh, come on, you know that answer. It's gonna be the Cub game. It's gonna have the sound. If I had to put, would the NFL game have sound on at all, the no would be -$2, because there's 3 baseball games. So no, there's preseason hockey that I can watch tonight, and I have Europa soccer that I'm still behind on watching from today. So there'll be no sound probably on the NFL game at all tonight.
Oh, so unlike the MLB broadcaster last night, you will actually watch some hockey on ESPN.
I love watch hockey.
Did you guys see that?
Yeah.
I didn't.
Way to promote your product, ESPN. The MLB announcer, they're talking about NHL's, they're starting next week. He goes, I'll absolutely not be watching any of that. But he said it on live TV, and it's like, okay, that sounds great. Way to promote your product.
All right, last thing, because it just popped in my head, Raphael, and I will get you out of here. I have to pick a favorite NHL team this season. I'm not an NHL guy, but I said I need a team to follow because we have 2 NHL guys with me. So I need somebody to root for. So who should I be a fan of this year? We're asking everybody. I'm deciding next week before the season starts. Who should I be a fan of?
That's easy. The newest team. Be a Kraken. Be a Seattle Kraken fan.
I like their stuff. I did look
Because
at their
people
logo.
can't say, "Oh, you're a homer." I'm like, no, it's just a second. I'm not a homer. And they went in the league 5 years ago. So I would say, since you don't have a team, you're safe betting being a Seattle Kraken fan.
What about the Mammoth, Raphael? The Utah Mammoth, since they were in Arizona, but now they're in Utah. Would that be a good pick for them?
I would say yeah, but I just like the word Kraken. So and their jerseys they're phenomenal jerseys.
Yeah,
they have a glow in the dark jersey.
Yeah,
I think that they're going to put out there this year.
Yeah,
I mean,
pretty sick.
I'm a Las Vegas. I mean, of course, I grew up in Chicago with Blackhawks and all that, but I cheer for Vegas because of what happened the year 1 in Vegas when the Golden Knights started. The shooting at Mandalay Bay, I was there, stuff like that. So I'm more, when I watch the game, I think about that. It's not like I watched the game, and we almost made it to the Stanley Cup Finals that year. So what Vegas Golden Knights did to like pretty much put a big hug on the city, that's why I probably cheer for more than anything else. Not because I have a home there and I used to live there full time.
Well, my requirements are I need a good logo, good color scheme, and I have to be able to pronounce some of the players. Like that's the very low bar that I'm at is I need to figure it out. So we'll see. But yes, I'll take that in consideration. The Kraken. I do like their colors. I think they're going to make the short list where I actually have to choose from.
Everybody's Justin Wilson to me now, since I can't do the correct pick on our picks. I was supposed to have Justin Fields, and I typed in Justin Wilson. So everybody, if I can't pronounce your name, you're Justin Wilson to me.
That is awesome. All right, well, everybody go follow Raphael Esparza. You can go follow him on any social media, right? But also check out DocSports.com, where he's a part of. Always doing good stuff. Raphael, thank you for giving us some time on Thursday. It's always a blessing, man.
Thank you, guys. Have a great weekend and catch some tickets.
Yes, sir.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Seabass, the only 5-star chef in the game. We all know sports betting is full of bad beats and tough calls, but when it comes to flavor, there's no second guessing. Bassett's Blends is the plus EV lock of every meal. We don't need a stinking model. Crafted with winning spices and bold taste, Bassett's Blends comes in 3 flavors, original, hot, and no salt, that's going to turn chicken, steak, vegetables, any dish into a can't-miss cover every night. With Bassett's Blends, there's no bad beats, no flavor fades, just guaranteed greatness. Check out the link right here where you can pick up your Bassett's Blends for a guaranteed lock every single night.
All right, go check out little Bassett's Blends with our man Seabass, and definitely thank you to Raphael for coming in here and hanging out with us. But yes, Seabass, always one of the best. But our wagers are brought to you by Bassett's Blend. So go ahead and follow that link that he gave you in the video. If you missed it, it's called a rewind button, but it's his Shopify store. But I'm going to let you lead off tonight. You got the running back. Who you got?
Yeah, we're going Kyren Williams over 65.5 rushing yards at -125. I was able to grab this at Fanatics, and I put it on Just the Stat Sports on Tuesday. Number hasn't moved too bad. It's actually 67.5 still at most books. I don't hate that. I would play it probably up to 70. But he received his lowest usage last weekend. And I think a lot of that was just due to the early turnaround. You got the Niners coming up. That was before everybody died on San Francisco's roster. But even with 13 carries, Williams was able to clear this 65.5 line. San Francisco just gave up 124 to the other Etienne brother, Travis. I don't like either one of those brothers, by the way. And they allowed Alvin Kamara to get 99 in week 2. So Kyren is averaging around 83 yards on the ground in all 3 games against San Francisco, dating back to last year. Another stat that you might want to look at, he has 5 touchdowns in his last 3 games against San Francisco. His normal touchdown line is -170. That's a stay away from me. Maybe look at a live number. But if you really want to get crazy, maybe bet his 2+ touchdowns. And that was at +350 earlier in the week.
All right, from one solid play to another one. Now, this one's going to take a friend that he needs. But I like Eddie Pinheiro, but also Joshua Accardi there to both kick field goals. When I look at this game, in all honesty, I'm looking at a game that could be sloppy, but it also low scoring. And when I see a low scoring game, yes, they're going to have to go for touchdowns at some point. But I also think that taking points when available, I think you're going to just say, hey, let's go ahead and take the points and let's continue to keep playing this game, even though it is a mess. But both these teams have cashed in on this 3 or 4 games with 2+ made field goals. So if both kick 2+ field goals in this one, we cash. One person can kick 3, the other one kick 1. One person can kick all 4. All we need is 4 field goals made in this one to cash it. But I expect both teams who are really good for the field goal, but also at allowing a field goal attempt and 2 or more in most every game they had. So because of that, I think this is going to be a field goal sloppy game, and give me both kickers to at least kick 2 field goals in this and cash us at a low number of -105. Do you see the game playing out to be an under in this game like everybody else thinks so?
Yeah, I kind of think so. Like I said earlier, I think if the Rams can get up heavy, they're just going to grind it out. So I like the under in this one.
Yeah, and it says it's 43.5, and I think that fell down from a little bit, but I think 43.5, you can still get to a 20-17 game. You can still get 2 field goals, 2 touchdowns by both teams. So I think that this is a game where you take the points. So because of that, I think it is a sloppy game, especially for field goals. But yes, Shocking. I took a kicker. Sorry. I apologize, but yes. But as you all know, we like to have a little fun on this show. We're going to speed it up just a little bit as we go ahead and go look at some pay dirt. And so, Robbie, let's see who gets in. You talked about Kyron Williams going for 2 touchdowns. Let's look at these guys right here. We have a little Christian McCaffrey there at a -105, which when I saw that, I thought I had to just put that up there because that's the lowest number I think we'll ever see him at. Yeah. And then Kendrick Bourne, I couldn't figure out. Do I want to go with Kendrick Bourne or we go with, is it Washington? Is that right? Robinson. Sorry. Robinson.
Just, DeMarcus.
Both American names. And then Jake Tongas. So that's your San Francisco side. The other side, obviously we have Kyron Williams, not on the board. He's -160 or higher, I believe. But we have Puka, which is a +105, a red zone threat, and Devontae Adams at +125. And then the other tight end, because I don't believe we'll see Higbee in this game, is Davis Allen, which I'm kind of impressed with. So who are you going for in this primetime pay dirt?
Yeah, I think I'm looking at Devontae Adams is my favorite. He has a touchdown in 8 of his last 10, dating back to last season. Even when he was with the Raiders, he still scored touchdowns. I think tonight, if you go to Justice Stat Sports, I do have a player prop for him, and I think if he hits that player prop, he could easily score off of it. So give me Devontae Adams at +125.
All right. Well, I'm going to go and I'm going to stay with what I know, and I know that Jake Tongas is awesome, and so I'm going to go with a +425. But Davis Allen doesn't scare me either because San Francisco is not great against the tight end either. I think this is a game where they're like, hey, please just don't burn us. Like, we have to cool out anybody that has any athletic ability. We gotta chill on the over top plays. We gotta stay in this game. If you throw it to the tight ends, fine. If you somehow run play action off the line, fine. We're not letting Devontae Adams or Puka beat us. We're not gonna let CMC beat us. I think both tight ends are in play tonight. And so I like both tight ends. I'm going to go with Jake Tongas because he is my pick, but I like Davis Allen as well. Anybody else that's off the board or anywhere that you're like, hey, I'm kind of feeling this one?
I don't know if I'm feeling it, but to get Christian McCaffrey at -105 for just 1 touchdown, it's hard not to, right? Just considering how good he is. That would be my other one. Yeah, honestly, If you're getting Christian McCaffrey at -105, that's like getting Ohtani or Judge a home run at +400. So,
right. We have Mark going with Kuna Matata. He's going with Puka Nacua. That's what it sounds like. So a lot of people like Puka. T. Ferguson. Who is T. Ferguson?
I've got to pull it up. I feel like Preston has a play on this guy. I couldn't tell you, honestly. I never heard of the guy.
Is he playing in this game? Are we sure?
Terrence Ferguson is his name.
Sure.
He's the tight end with Tyler Higbee out. Yeah, he's the tight end for the Rams.
Davis Allen is better than Tyler Higbee and Mr. Ferguson. So I'm okay there. I'm okay, Nonsense McGee. I would pick Davis Allen, though, if I was you.
Only Ferguson I acknowledge is Jake Ferguson for the Cowboys. That's it.
I bet he's cousins with him. because
so.
Ferguson, not really a known name. Nobody really knows Ferguson. So I bet it is. But yes, the tight end from Oregon, Derek says, is
Nice.
Tyler Ferguson. I don't know if I believe you guys, but you could be right. All right. Well, that's who we're going to play this year or on this game tonight. I think it'll be a sloppy game, but I still think that we'll see some field goals, and we'll definitely see a little bit of scoring, but it won't be crazy. And no, Joe, we can't go a day without Cowboys talk. But I think the game plays out into what everybody expects, and I would be shocked. Would you be shocked if we see like a 30-27 game?
Yeah, I think because the Rams defense is actually pretty good, and you're going against the JV squad for San Francisco, right? So I would be shocked if San Francisco could put up enough.
Okay. Looking at the games, there is a game going on right now. Can you give an update on it? I'm sorry, it hadn't even started yet. Oh, perfect. I thought we were starting earlier than that because I thought Coach said today that it's starting at noon Eastern or 1 Eastern. So noon Central. It didn't start till 3 Eastern.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're 30 minutes
Eastern.
away. All right, real quick. We're gonna get some TV timeout, but I don't want to go there yet. Give me your prediction. Who wins the 3 games tonight? Tigers, Guardians, Padres, Cubs, Red Sox, Yankees. Give me your 3 winners.
Tigers, Yankees.
God, stupid.
And the Padres.
Okay. Well, I'm on Tigers, Cubs, and Red Sox.
Good.
So
I'm glad you're on my team.
Yeah, I like the Red Sox. I think the Yankees suck. I think that anytime you get a chance, they are very much like the Cowboys. That they're going to suck when they need to the most stand up. They're terrible. So we'll see. But let's go ahead and get into a little TV timeout because that's what everybody's here to hang out with. And so he's not here, but I still got to play it. We got the whistle here. All right. We're going to start this next week, but I was just slant busy this whole week, and I know you have been as well. But next Thursday, I believe you are on the show with me. Okay. But question, if you had to give me a top 3 in Survivor, who would your top 3? Did it change with this new and most recent episode last night?
No, I think they're still the same. I feel bad for that tribe that they got a time discount and they still can't put a puzzle together. It's amazing to me.
And don't tell me who goes home because I literally was trying to, but and this is on me. And this should honestly not surprise anyone. I got a notification on my work computer and it said, "Hey, you have a meeting in 15 minutes." And I was like, "Cool." Had no idea. What is the meeting? I look at it. It's a presentation to a company that I have to present. I'm the presenter. And I said, FML, got to figure things out real quick. And so, yes, that was partly why I was not able to do half the things I wanted to do today because I completely forgot about that. But that is probably not shocking to anyone, including my wife, who says, I could see that. And I said, well, I crushed it. Thank you.
I was about to say, you do better under pressure, though, right?
Oh, I killed it. I only forgot to do our giveaway. I have a giveaway that I do when I do presentations, and I forgot to do it. But either way, I still do like the same people because there's not much changed on my end with this. But I still think that we're going to have that tribe. I don't know if it wasn't last year, but the years past, we had that tribe that completely decimated. They only came out with 3 people to where they eventually did I guess whatever it's called when they all combine.
Yeah. They did like a buff switch. I think that's what they call it.
Exactly.
Yeah. The young lady, the hairstylist, I think she was the one that ended up winning it, and she came from that tribe, right?
Listen, I've slept since then. I forgot a meeting and a presentation, so I ain't remembering shit.
True that.
All right. Have you watched Black Rabbit at all?
I have no idea what that is.
Black Rabbit is
Black Mirror. I've heard of Black Mirror. That's really good, but not Black Rabbit.
Black Rabbit is on Netflix. I have watched the first episode. I think I'm all the way through the first episode. Very good. Jason Bateman is Houston ran my 2 Survivor picks. Yes, sorry. Different Survivor. But Jason Bateman is one of the guys. And if you have not seen this, which I would assume most haven't, It's before we feast. It's they eat the hot wings. You've seen that where they eat the hot wings and they have to go down and like try different hot wings and they have to talk and they have an interview. Okay.
Hot ones.
Is it hot ones or before we feast?
Hot ones. It's got the bald host, the guy who did the Shaq meme. Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah, hot ones.
Maybe it's hot ones. I thought it was before we feast. I could be completely wrong. Either way. So he was interviewing Jason Bateman, who crushed it on that, by the way. And he was talking a little bit about it. And they said that he is the executive producer, Jason Bateman is. And Jason Bateman brought in Jude somebody, whatever his name is. And he was another main actor. And he said, hey, I brought you in for this, but what if we switched characters? Because this is Jason Bateman, I'm always the good guy, kind of just figuring things out. And I'm like, oh man, they got us. And I'm trying to, be the guy that's reactive. What if I was the bad guy? What if I was the loser and you were the good guy and completely switch, even though the other guy is more of a villain? Jude Law is who it is. Thank you, Irish John. That is pretty interesting that they literally got to the script read. Like they were breaking down and discussing everything. Said, what if we just switched characters and went with it? And supposedly it crushed it because of that. And so that's why. So very interesting that you see him as like even Ozark, right? He was still like the ding dong guy, even though he was a bad guy. He's still the ding dong dad, and he played that. So this was a completely different guy. He has long hair and everything. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, he was like the Dollar General version of Walter White in Ozark.
Correct. Which Ozark, you've seen that, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Everything but the ending. I was good up until the ending. I felt like that last episode let me down.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think we were both right. Hot Ones is presented by Before We Feast. That's why.
Okay.
All right, listen, I knew I subscribed to their channel and it keeps coming up as Before We Feast. But Sophie, Derek needs a mulligan here. He said, that Survivor. Can't stand Sophie. I barely remembered Sophie until she was in this episode.
I really think Sophie and the big dude have something else going on. I think the big guy's fiance is going to be a little pissed off at him when he gets home after she sees this. Just reading it, man, it doesn't look like a friendship. It looks like, which again, you're on an island. You haven't brushed your teeth. Why in the world would you be doing any of that? But I think there's more to that. I really do.
Do you think you could? You think you could survive on Survivor? You think you'd be good at it?
Yeah, I could survive.
Do you think your social game would be good enough?
That's what I'm saying. That would be the only thing, because I'm good when I'm caffeinated, which is 24/7, unless I'm sleeping. Uncaffeinated, not fed, no gym, and then I've got people talking to me all the time. I don't know how I do, which I think would make for great television.
Yeah, I haven't seen this part because, like I said, I forgot my meeting and had my time. I haven't saw the shoe thief part of this. Is it?
Yeah.
Did he do it again?
Yes, he did it again. And it doesn't make sense. It's not even funny. It's just, you're just going to piss people off. Like, again, if I'm out there with no caffeine and somebody's taking my shoes, no, don't touch my stuff. Don't be in my bag. Don't touch my stuff.
Mark said you'd be a beast on Survivor. And he said, as the Ulafala, he'll survive. Yes, but Joe says that they brush their teeth. I don't know about that.
I didn't think that. I always see them picking with the sticks and things. I didn't think they could brush their teeth.
No, I don't think
back in the day. Good.
Well, I don't think they have a toothbrush, but I think that they have stuff that they make to brush their teeth. But I think it's just like a piece of the stuff, like you said, they're picking. Yeah. They're using stuff. I would use coconut, just like brush my teeth with coconut. That's got to be somewhat healthy, right?
You know, I do wanted to bring this up after last week. I don't think a Snuggie should be allowed either on Survivor. Did you see him last week? Did you not see him wrapped in like a Snuggie last week?
Who has a Snuggie?
One of the girls. It may have been Sophie. It looked like a Snuggie. That's cheating. Why not just bring a freaking sleeping bag and cut holes in the feet? But yeah, this is my Snuggie. You can't have a Snuggie on Survivor. They're watering it down. They got to go back. They got to tear it all down and go back. I think too much conveniences. Too many conveniences. Less days.
He said it was Sophie.
Yeah,
that damn right. Sophie again.
Yeah.
All right, I gotta go watch. I have so much to do. We have something big tomorrow with my wife and their school. We're doing they call it the fling, which is like a dance or a mingling. I don't fucking know, but it's the pre-party is at my house. I was just told this morning at 6:30 a.m. So yes, I wanted to say that damn Sophie this morning at 6:30 a.m. when I was talking to my wife, I was like, I don't want to clean the house or the toilets, but that's what I have on my bingo card is to do all that. Do you have friends that all have a housekeeper?
Yeah, I think my sister-in-law has a housekeeper. Now it's not like every day, but like every week or so. But yeah, they do.
Yeah, all my friends have them. We don't.
I don't want nobody going through my shit. I don't trust people. I don't trust people enough.
Yeah.
Which I don't have anything, but it's my stuff. Don't touch it.
Yeah, we don't have one. It's mainly my wife. I'm not going to lie. She does a good job, but she was like, unfortunately, we are one of the ones of our friend group who doesn't have a housekeeper. And we used to back in the day. And that was right before we had kids. And after kids, they are expensive as hell. So we don't have one anymore. But yes, Mark, I knew Mark would. Bougie ass. He's bougie. We'll see. We'll see. Maybe one day, maybe this coaching company Weekday Wagers money hits, and we'll be able to get one of those. But that's all we got. It's been a fun show. Definitely off the rails to end, but there's no other way we definitely have it. Next week could be a little bit different. Tomorrow is going to be the same. We're going to make sure that we have it. But I know Robbie's got a day he has to be out. We'll figure out if we have somebody in that we can bring in on Wednesday. If not, it will be me possibly, but we're hoping to see if we can grab somebody so I can keep my same schedule due to my stuff that I have. But if not, you might see me more than normal, or we could see somebody, a mystery guest, not the mystery guest, but a mystery guest for sure. But it should be a fun night in the game, I hope. If not, there's always baseball you can check out. But we're going to have a good time either way with all the playoff baseball and Thursday night football. But we'll see everybody tomorrow. Make sure you tune in to our Friday show. We have a little NFL overdrive as always. We'll have the 10 plays, a little bit of props, a little bit of plays on the totals and the lines. But then after this one, we're going to think of something really fun to do that'll individualize everyone, especially you, Joe. But we'll see everybody tomorrow. See you then.